interview people that would never take my calls, like the police chiefs. Like they would never normally, if I had, oh hi, I own insurancehotline.com. I'd like to interview you, Mr. Police Chief. They'd laugh me out of, I don't know, out of the building. No, but if I'm a reporter, they take you seriously and you get interviews. And what I would do is if I had to write an article as opposed to just interviewing, I would have them send me a write-up on the interview. So they would have their secretary or somebody do the write-up. I would take that write-up, rejig it a little bit, and put it in the newspaper as an article. So that was really, really a lot easier than just writing it from scratch after an interview. The other thing is that when you do articles, whether you're doing it for one newspaper or another, you can, in your resource section, your titles, you can promote your business and your speaking engagements. So you give people your opinion, but there are always areas at the bottom of the article or above where you can promote what you do. And again, your business gets incredible kudos, let's just say. It's so fantastic. So right now, we own todaysnewsmedia.com. Now, last week, we only had feeds from the US, breaking news stories from the US. Now, 1 week later, we have feeds worldwide. We have feeds from 4 feeds from the US. We have Europe news, 2 feeds from Canada, 2 feeds from Africa, Argentina, Australia, Brazil, China, Egypt, India, Mexico, Russia, and Saudi Arabia. Every week, we're going to be increasing our feeds to be the world go-to website for breaking news. You go here, you can see what every feed worldwide is saying about the breaking news stories. We're also going to we also have worldwide weather reports. What's the weather like in Brazil? What's the weather like in Canada? We have the world clock, and we have the contact a reporter. So this is the same thing. When you came on to this presentation, you are not a reporter. Now you are a reporter of the World News Network, worldnewsmedia.com. And what we do is we talk about news, reviews, scams, businesses, and consumer reports. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more. Now, here's the scarier thing. When Rita called me this morning, she was not a reporter. Our Rita is now a reporter. And because she's a member of the We Empower You group, she's also doing her 5-minute TV show and putting down the media that she will be on. So very nice, Rita. Take a bow. Nice picture. Here's what, when you claim your reporter status, it improves your Google images. Now, within a couple of days, this reporter, Rita, is going to come up in her Google images, which is a very powerful thing. If somebody is searching for her name, they'll say, well, not only is she a financial expert, but she's a reporter. Wow. It increases your credibility. It moves you from a YouTuber to a reporter. It moves you from a shameless self-promoter to a reporter. And I'm a reporter from the news feed, Today's News Media. It's a powerful, powerful title that will get the attention of people that you want to interview. And it moves you from selling your product to creating awareness of your product through the people that you are interviewing and their connections. And it just puts you at a higher level. And I'll give you an example. When you interview somebody, their audience becomes your audience. So if you want to get to the top of your game, interview industry leaders as a reporter of the news media, todaysnewsmedia.com. They will also, when you interview them, they will also introduce you to their media contacts. So if you actually want to get, interviewed by media, these industry leaders have been interviewed by all kinds of media. So you can just say, hey, by the way, I want to get interviewed by, Fox TV or CNN or Good Morning America or something. They will probably know these people personally because they've been interviewed by them. See, so you go to the industry leaders, you interview them, you become connected with them and ask them if they can refer you to people like, do you know anyone at Fox? Do you know anybody at CNN? Do you know anybody at, and they will say, yeah, sure. Dave introduced me to the Entrepreneur magazine. So I just contacted his contact in the Entrepreneur magazine. I didn't have to try to figure out who to contact in the Entrepreneur magazine. And if you want to start writing for different magazines, like the Entrepreneur magazines, you need reference articles. And your reference articles should not be coming from, oh, look at this blog. If they come from something substantial, like a news feed, it increases your credibility. So here's the plain truth of it all. If you're sitting beside somebody and you don't want them to talk to you, tell them you sell insurance. If you're sitting beside somebody and you want them to talk to you, tell them you're a reporter. That's how easy it is. Everybody here wants sponsors. So interview the sponsors you want. Come at it at a different level. Control the situation. Interview the sponsors you want. Then they'll get to know you. And, of course, they want a good interview. I don't want to say anything more about that, but you know what I mean. Remember when we talked about write your own press? So for instance, if someone wants to do business with you, they'll probably Google, and I'll just give you an example, scam income activator. Well, the first 20 pages are pages I wrote about scams income activator, because income activator is a legitimate business and I don't want some troll writing something bad about me. But how much better, so if I Google this, of course I get income activator, income activator, income activator, income activator, and you get the income activator page. How much better would it be for me to take this copy and give it to reporter Bettina Carey, so that when someone Googles something about my business, Today's News Media comes up and there's a reporter, Bettina Carey, talking about income activator. How much better is that? I think that's a lot better. So we've just got to be smart. We write our own media, do our own media. It's in our hands to do. We don't have to be sanctioned or blessed by anybody, an outside source. Take control. This, when you become a reporter with Today's News Media, you can help out your clients. Or you can even charge them for services. It's another revenue stream. And let me give you an example of how you can do both. We also have a section in regard to press releases. You can do the person's press release up. You can get somebody else that does press releases and take a commission from doing it. You can do business reviews, post business reviews about your client on Today's News Media. And always, always, always write something up about your business in regard to scam alert. Because if you don't, someone else will, and that's not what you want. So let's say if Rita had a client, let's say she was a doctor, she wanted to interview this doctor. She would interview the doctor, she would post the interview on her website and say, look it, let's grab your email list and send people to this page, and I will promote what we talked about. And I will also send you leads. The leads are $10 per lead, but it generates a revenue. And I'll also allow you to sell your product line. It's a really good thing for the doctor to do. You can also sell their books. With your Income Activator website, you can sell products, create content, add videos, sell books, send leads to businesses that pay you, track the leads, and create the invoice. You've got it all. You don't have to pay an extra dime when you get the Income Activator website. You can do all these revenue streams. So she interviews the doctor. She has all this going. She gets extra visitors to her website through the doctor's email list. Maybe the doctor has 50,000 people at her email list. There's always money in your email list. And then let's just say 100 people, that's $1,000 for Rita in her pocket just for the interview. If 100 people go through and want a consultation. And Rita can also take this and put it on today's news media for the doctor. Charge her or not charge her. Rita could also say, geez, you know what? I've got a program that is really good for doctors. Let me interview a few of people that she doesn't even know and put them on. And then they may join her program. This is target marketing. If you go to incomeactivator.com, homepage, scroll down, the video that says bloggers and interviewers, it's a really good video. It steps you through how to do what I just said in regard to getting somebody to interview, getting their email list, putting them on your website, and creating a lead revenue program. Really, really good video to watch. So the secret, here's the secret. You're already interviewing, you're already writing articles, so claim it. Claim your reporter position. Right now in the chat, put your name, email, phone number, and the best time for me to call you, so I can tell you how to go from not a reporter to a reporter. And for Bettina, if you could just, by the end of this meeting, if you can just copy the chat emails and send it to me, that would be great. And remember, always turn your message into $1 million business through the magic of Bettina's We Empower You membership. So I believe it's question time.
Thank you so much, Lee. It's so great to have you present once more. And go ahead and undo your video so people can see you once again.
I think I have.
Oh, there you go. It's great to have you back.
Oh,
week after week.
So if anybody has any, and here's the thing, I was never the media. I took a psychology course in university, and I spelled psychology one time. I'm not a writer. Okay. So it happened to me accidentally, but I think it happened to me accidentally so that I could tell you guys how easy it is. And if you actually put some purpose behind it, how great it can be for you, because it is second to none. Being part of the media. In fact, most of the time, even though I have this website platform that competes against WordPress, I usually just tell people, I'm the media. I do interviews, and do you want to be interviewed? It opens them up.
Lee, could you run through that little process again? You interview them first, then you post the interview, but you're posting the interview to your income activator site?
Yeah, like that's really simple. Let's say
because I have, like, for instance, I have a doctor I want to interview.
Perfect. So
I asked him today and he already said yes, because I was thinking about what you said last week. And he's the CEO of a company that makes a gadget.
Okay, perfect. So what I would do is I would create an event and just say, what day do you want to be interviewed? Okay. And I would keep that interview. I would do that interview on Zoom, but not release it. Okay. So get that interview, release sound, do the interview, do your editing on that interview. Very much like what Bettina does with these Zoom meetings. Okay. And then you upload the video onto your website. And you tell the doctor, said, okay, so let's promote this interview to your list. And then we send out the link to your page to his list. And of course, you'll have a form that sends him leads. And you can also promote his product.
So when you said, that's the bit where you lost me. I will have a form to send him
leads. Yeah.
So people then, so they're on the website, they're looking at the interview and they're like, oh, I need to know more about him. I will have a form where they can say, find out more about Dr. X here.
Free consultation.
Well, what if he's not doing free consultations?
Well, then say paid consultations. Whatever he wants in regard to a lead.
Okay. Okay, so they've got a form to find out more about them, and that's a referral. And are we charging for that referral, or at this point?
Well, yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, how else does he advertise? I mean, everybody pays for advertising.
Or could you, I mean, so since he has gadgets, would it, at that point would be click here for the affiliate?
You could do that too. You could create an affiliate link of his gadgets and just get commission on the click.
So what is the benefit to him? Because he's already got his list. He can speak to his own list. What's the point of promoting?
People don't generally do this, and it's always better if you're interviewed by a third party. Because if he just gets on and promotes himself, it's shameless self-promotion. If he's being interviewed by you, it will give him more clients from your client base. It will also allow his clients to see him in a different way. It's going to your website where he's being featured. And if you join the news outlet, you can put him on the news outlet. And that's even better for him because it's it's another profile.
Okay. Thank you.
And let's get your domain name up, okay? Tomorrow, can you call me? Okay, so any other questions? Anybody else about the media? Bettina, could you, just before I go, can you tell me why you were so excited about getting that media position on the radio.
Absolutely. So, you know, the interesting thing is that when you create your own media and you be the media finds you. So just by doing these podcasts, these presentations that we're doing with Lee and myself, got the attention of a media outlet called Rainier Avenue Radio, who contacted me to produce one show for the Women's History Month. And after that one show, the very same day, they said, can you do a show 52 weeks out of the year? So that's how it evolves. So one thing leads to another, right? So putting yourself in, you know, whether you're blogging, whether you're doing social media, whether you're doing a radio show like I'm doing, which is also on Twitch TV and YouTube, which basically means TV. It doesn't matter the medium, because, for example, this particular session that we're having, I can then upload, it's already uploaded to YouTube because we're doing it live. A few minutes after it airs, I can go and get the transcription, and I can take that transcription, which is word for word what everybody said, and chop out what I don't want in there and create a story. I also don't believe that I have to be the best writer in the world. I have an editor. So I'll have my editor proof anything I want going out the door, and then I can take it to a blog. I can take it to turn it into a press release. I can turn it into another event, which is coming up next week. So what I think people might be missing is that what we're doing and what is of value is content. You interviewing another is content. So it benefits them, but it also benefits you. So it's a win-win situation is what you're creating. And I know that some folks out there watching might think to themselves, well, I'm not an official news person. I'm not a writer. I spell badly. I don't know grammar. It's like, you don't need to know everything. Most of us can communicate effectively through our voice, and our voice is our message, right? So as long as you're able to communicate in this form, you'll be fine, because any of what you're communicating is recorded. It turns into an audio file. It can be then therefore transcribed, whether it's YouTube transcribing or yourself hand transcribing, either way. Although I'll have to say the YouTube transcription is really quick, and that's what I use. So that's the main thing, is that you're elevating not only the person you're interviewing, but you're also elevating others. I've produced about 300 videos in the last 1 year. I had never produced my own videos for myself or for others. I did them on a commercial level, yes, but I had never put myself in this space. And now that I have, I need someplace to put all that. And so this reporter concept really gives me a place to put my Rainier Avenue Radio content. It puts me in a position of being able to interview some really key leaders, industry leaders out there in the world of shattering the glass ceiling, which is my content typically. So that's one of the reasons I took on the radio programming. And content is king, as they say. So the more content you have, the more you have of leads and referrals and generally income, which is, of course, our topic is always about revenue at the end of the day.
I landed into doing the website because I found that I was promoting another product line within the Income Activator platform, and what happened was that I saw an article by this major doctor, and I thought, geez, you know, he's probably not going to want to be interviewed by Lee Romanov, president of Income Activator, because it's not in it. There's a disconnect. But he would be interested in being interviewed if I was a news reporter for the network. So today's news media has a strong title. It has feeds from around the world, and there's no downside for him to now be interviewed by a source. And again, when you interview somebody, there's an exchange, there's a conversation, and he may give me a connection of where I can be interviewed on Fox or CNN. So, and it's a lot easier going in as a referral than cold to Fox and CNN and pitching a story. And that, to me, that's my key. It puts you in an area of people that have been interviewed by top level people, and you're now in that category. But if you don't take this first step, it is really hard to get into that category. So this is the way to do it. At least it's worked for me, and I don't see why it can't work for you.
And what's really interesting is that if you might be like I was a year ago when I first started airing on Zoom and just talking to the world and just talking off the top of my head a lot of the time. At first, it was like trying to jump up on a high surface, and I would fall down or I'd make mistakes or whatever. And then eventually, you know, I kept jumping and jumping and jumping, and I landed on the top of something. And in this case, it was the Rainier Avenue radio program. So you're not going to get it all right at first. And, you know, then why bother trying? Well, why bother trying is because the more you try, the more you succeed, right? So don't let yourself that is, you know, kind of going like, how can I be a reporter when I'm not a reporter? It's like you are already a reporter, especially if you've been posting on social media, because social media is media. Yeah. Telling stories, your own stories. You've already got the practice. Now you're just up leveling your game to being in a more official platform.
Yeah, take out the social part of it. It's irritating anyway.
Yeah. If you're going to post on someplace, you might as well post on an official site.
That's right. Yeah. So anyway, you guys all become, I would really enjoy seeing every one of you guys become a reporter, and it just opens doors for you, huge doors. So if there's no more questions, I'll give a countdown, 2, 3, 1. Then I am off. Okay?
She's quick, so better catch her if you have a question.
Okay. Thank you very much, you guys. Oh, put in the chat your name, email, phone number, and best time to call. Bettina, if you can grab a copy of that chat, don't forget.
I will send it to you.
And that would be terrific.
You've got your chance to put it in the chat. I see one person so far who's put their information in there.
Everybody put your information in there.
Everybody should be putting
Everybody put your information in there. Don't ignore this opportunity. Okay? The door is knocking. Open it. Okay? I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Lee. It's been great to have you. And it's been great to have all of you. If you're watching on Zoom, you're watching on, you know, this weekly show on every single Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Bettina Carey for WeEmpowerYourLife.com and the We Empower You community. And we're going to go ahead and switch gears here.